Welcome to the Monday Morning Wake Up Call with your host, Kerry Ramage, managing broker at Remax Elite, and Heather Holiday, your social marketing nut, talking about hottest real estate topics with a little weekly activity and motivation for the week. Well, good morning and happy Monday.
Good morning. Good morning. It's so funny. I'm watching the intro and I'm looking at the ever-changing hairstyles of bangs, no bangs, bangs, no bangs, blonder, darker.
I look at some of the old stuff and I always have, I've always had bangs because they'll annoy me once they get
Right.
but I'm trying to grow them out, and then I tried to get them feathered, and I don't know what the hell they did to me. Well, they did one side, just not the other. I don't even know what to do. I'm like, I don't even know.
It's funny.
So I'm like, thank goodness it's hat weather and the ponytail weather, whatever.
Right.
It's like finally nice, at least on the weekends, and then it gets back to rainy and 60 again, and I'm like, yucky. It's so confusing.
I know. I know. Crazy. And it's funny because one of our picture on our logo is from when we very first taught this class together at the Board of Realtors.
That is true.
And this is one of my favorite things that we talk about. I know it is for you for sure.
It's like my biggest pet peeve. My biggest pet peeve, and a lot of it is, one is always looking for agents, and then like, oh my gosh, why don't you have your information attached to your online profiles? Like, I don't want to have to do research to try to find you. And that's the whole point, is to stop being a secret agent. Yep. It's my biggest pet peeve. I know the creative group, we probably get about 50 requests to join every single day. Like we finally just cleaned it out. But I bet you if I went in there now, there's about 100. And there's 5 of us admins that are trying to go through, but people don't answer the questions. And a lot of it is because they're being invited. And I get that, unless they see that notification to fill out the questions. So we have to go look them up. And it just blows my mind. I can't just click on someone's profile because they don't have a workplace. They don't have information. They don't have any of that. And I feel there's so much lost opportunities for someone. A lot of that's going to be because when I'm asked, do you know an agent in this city? Well, I probably do, but I'm going to go to that person's profile. If I don't have a website, a cell phone, or an email that I can just screenshot and send it over, and you're going to have to make me do my research to find you, I'll just go to the next agent I know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And so, I hear so many times people are like, well, Facebook, it's for my family, my friends. I don't want whatever, which is great. And if that's the way you're using Facebook, then this class may not be for you. But if you're on Facebook and you're trying to join real estate groups and your Facebook profile doesn't show that you're in real estate or where you work or who you work with, you're not going to get admitted into those groups, right? So if you're trying to get into groups, you really need to up your profile. And I'm with you as well. Like, it's hard to, when you're searching people and you're looking and you're trying to give the information, and sometimes I don't have them saved in my phone, but somebody's asking for somebody wherever, let's just say Jacksonville. And I want to go through and find someone. Yeah, I know. And I want to go through and find that name that I can't remember. And then I find them, but then nothing about them says they're on Facebook. Then I'm like, wait a minute, am I confused? Do I have the wrong name? Do I have the wrong person? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, you're kind of out there. I definitely would understand if your spouse is, top clearance, whatever. I've definitely run into that in some of my classes. I know some people have 2 different profiles. To me, that's just too confusing.
Right.
Really, I feel like your referrals are going to come from your sphere. that's going to be your public Facebook. And, I just try not to be an energy sucking vampire. I try to do like, the 4 Ps is just trying to stay positive, be professional, be personal. There's another one and I just lost it, but at least 3 Ps there. I try to stay away from politics, but that wasn't the other P. Some people do, and that's who they get. Me personally, I don't like the negativity that comes from any of that, so I just stay away. I want my feed to be what I put out. I want it to be positivity and good, feel good stuff. But really the whole point of this is stop being a secret agent. A lot of people don't realize their links aren't there or that they're missing those opportunities. I mean, I'll do referrals all day long and I'll never post that I just listed this or sold this because I haven't sold real estate since 2006, but people still, when they think of real estate, they think of me with the balloon because it's, product placement. It's kind of wherever, the hats, the swag. So it doesn't have to be so professional. I feel since COVID, because I'm not out there doing different things, I'm like 95% personal. And I'm like, people probably don't even realize I work my ass off during the week, but that just seems so boring to me. So I'm trying
so you're not going to post about it. Yeah.
They're like, all she does is play energy, but are up in the mountains. Like, she doesn't work. What are you kidding me? And I do, but I don't ever post about it because it's not like we're doing all these office events and stuff like that, which used to be more fun stuff. So, pizza day, we're having an event and having people bring in pizza, I mean, and we're just, we're trying to get back into that. So I am trying to figure out how do I create that balance, because I've noticed like my Instagram no longer has the balloon anywhere. It's just 100% me playing.
Gotcha.
But regardless, have your information on there. I'm going to go ahead and start going into this. It's a longer, like a presentation kind of redone as the years go by, but there's a lot of great stuff. So I'm going to start with this because it's always my favorite intro.
I know.
And I know Google Academy, when I went to go do that, I allowed them to use my name as an example. How do I get on that first page? Because when you Google my name, all you're going to see is the other Heather Holiday, and all of her social is at Heather Swallows. I always love to see, what do you get when you Google your name? Are you showing up? Do you have a unique name? Do you have something?
And I haven't done myself in a while, so I'm going to do it while you're talking. But I think I come up.
Yeah, I know when we did the class, and I think we had gift cards if anyone could beat me, but there was somebody who had a serial killer that was like in jail in Georgia. So they did beat, I mean, I'd much rather be a sword swallower than a serial killer. So they did. But most of the time, it's going to be, like you're a football player, you climb mountains, something like that. You're not going to have something like this, but I do always find it fun.
So let me just say, this is funny. There's nothing. I put in my name, and I'm not incognito, so that would be another problem. But what's funny is I'm going through, and everything, I don't know if you guys can see it, has my new profile picture, except as I scroll down, and I'm just going to go, I guess I haven't been on Pinterest a while, because that's like 3 photos ago. That was in Linda. That was in Linda Farahi's living room.
Yes.
So Linda was still alive back when I did.
I always thought that was done in the office you're at now, because that's when you were. I thought.
Yeah, it was in Linda's. It was in Linda's living room, and Debbie, Lisi's sister, took the pictures.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So I got to get on Pinterest when we're done and fix that.
So definitely Google yourself. And yes, you want to try to do, if you can go into Chrome, there's 3 little dots, go into incognito. That way it's going to be more of a true search result of you or of a consumer searching for you, because, Google's just, all the browsers are way smarter. They're taking, what are you normally at? Where are you at? What are you, what do you click on? What sites do you go on? So I do like to do that incognito. That way it's not storing all of your history and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, and I did just do it incognito, and it's all about me. So that's good.
Lucky you. Yeah.
I know. I know.
I only had the first page because this Heather Holiday used to have a show. She was a freak show in Coney Island. And when Hurricane Sandy came and kind of wiped Coney Island down, I finally got to the first page because she wasn't
She wasn't busy.
But then she ended up getting a gig on MTV Freak Show, and now she's an international star. So there's everything is at Heather Swallows, and it's more fun for this. So I just have to really make sure, and we'll have tips, that I was kind of given by Google towards the end on how you can kind of help, depending on how somebody may be searching for you. And if you'll notice, that's why I always have my middle initial in all of my profiles and stuff like that, because this Heather Holiday isn't that. And I always go by H3 has been my nickname since all my best friends in high school were Heather. I was just H3 at that point. So I just go with it. All right. Go ahead. Oh, sorry. I caught you with
sorry.
Coffee.
Drinking my coffee. So your MLS profile, that's another one. Make sure it is completely up to date. And I'm looking at this now to make sure everything's up to date here. And it is. So make sure it's up to date. Make sure you have your current photo, because that photo prints on your MLS sheets that you're giving out to your customers. So you want your photo on there. All of this information is how other agents find you when they want to make an offer. So you want to make sure that you have all of your contact information updated and always current.
I see it all the time where someone doesn't have a website, or they just have their office website, or they have their former brokerage office website listed, or same with the email. And that's basically your consumers. It's, on the public facing MLS, it's what gets printed when you're printing out these sheets.
If you're sharing a listing from the MLS to Facebook, this is what's going to show up.
And that's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Well, I know you shouldn't be using. I know,
but they do it, and it drives me nuts.
It's why? Because it's easy. You can just click the button.
So is everywhere else. And you get so much if you share it from your actual website.
I know.
Landing pages, leads, all that craziness. Like, y'all just drive me crazy. But anyway, that's a whole other show. Maybe totally different. All right. So social media, going through all of your profiles, make sure, your headshot. Sometimes I will have professional. Sometimes I do have something that's more personal on my personal, but the business parts definitely always have my professional photo. Make sure you have all of your social, your websites, all of that information to be able to make sure that it's as super easy for people to be able to connect with you as possible. On Instagram, I use something different. So it doesn't go to a website. It actually goes to a little card that I've created inside, like Linktree, but I created my own in Canva that I can always edit and stuff like that. It was just something I was trying to figure out because I love the custom, and I was paying $6 a month on Linktree, and then I was like, I think I can do this in Canva, so I did, and that's cool.
Oh, maybe we'll do that as a class, as a Monday morning thing, because that's something that might be fun.
No, I love it. So just make sure your workplace has your business page and your office. If your business page does not have, real estate or something like that, I like to add both. What's going to make it super easy? Someone goes, to your personal account, they hover over the business page. It's a hyperlink. It's going to say, like this page. You want to be able to make it easy for people to like your business page if you have one. A lot of that, it's really hard to gain a fan base or followers or whatever they're calling it. It's really hard. So you want to make that easily searchable, findable for people to be able to go like and follow and all of that fun stuff. I probably have way too much, but I have a ton of, I've got the office stuff. I've got my stuff. So I just try to make sure everything's on there.
Right.
And use your highlights. Make custom highlight covers. Those are a ton of fun. So maybe we'll do a class with the highlight covers and that other, kind of like an Instagram thing.
So that we can just take a deeper dive into it for sure.
Yeah. So I just make sure that you go through your profiles, make sure it's the correct website, the correct every information that you have on there, that it looks good and people can easily find you.
Zillow.com. I mean, that's where consumers are going, right? They're still going there. And you may say this in a later slide, but Zillow.com, Realtor.com, uh, that's where people are going. So make sure that is updated. And here's like, so if you're looking at mine, real estate agent, 22 years experience, I've updated that because that's how many years it's been right now. But make sure you're keeping that updated. Make sure it doesn't say 10 years experience if it's been 15. You know,
at least on Zillow, I think it makes you put the year license, so
that could be how it does it. Yeah,
but it is in a lot of agents' bios. They put that year, and once you get past 10 years, I would just do like 10 plus, 15 plus, 20 plus. So that way, it's not going to be 19 years when it's been 24.
Right. You don't have to keep changing it. You can then
put since 1999. I mean, just put in the year so you don't have to remember. I mean, you should be doing this every year. We
talk about it every year, and we talk about
at least once a year at minimum.
At minimum once a year, you should be doing this. If you get a new photo, you should be doing it when you get the new photo. And it's funny now, especially with the younger agents, they like taking photos, so they're taking photos all the time and getting new photos. So getting a new photo once a year is not strange, so if you're doing that, make sure you're updating it everywhere.
No, absolutely. So it's consistent.
And
that consistency across, especially those professional platforms.
Well, yeah, and that way, when they find you on this place and then this place and then this place, if all the photos are different, one's from 15 years ago and one's from yesterday, they may not even know if it's the same person, and it's confusing. But if you have a consistent photo throughout all the platforms, they recognize you as you.
Absolutely. And there's no question about it. This is just one more slide I did add for Zillow is, these are just the amount of leads that we're getting that just auto rotate to our agents that are on the team if they've accepted to be on our team. We don't spend a penny, but we still get lots of leads from Zillow. So it's just another resource for these leads. I know, Zillow's definitely been changing their platform, but also in your bio, you can hyperlink searches, to each city. So we have a bunch of different landing pages for the cities that we serve. Those are hyperlinked in our bio to take people over to our website. So make sure that you're pimping out your profile so that you can get those leads. We don't pay for anything, but I'm sure our agents are just fine to get, we don't monitor anything other than just keeping track of it. But you can set it up for anybody on your team just to automatically, it's just on rotation. I don't have time to mess with all that stuff, but pimp out your profile. It's like them or not, it's where consumers like to go. I still go on it when I'm searching for property. Obviously, I'm not going to use, my husband still doesn't understand that just because he sees someone's name, he thinks that's a listing agent. I'm like, stop it. I'll take care of that part. Just find something.
Just find the house you like. Yeah.
Right. But
I'll handle the rest.
but Zillow and Redfin, they still, like it or not, they are my favorite, apps to be able to use when I'm trying to search. It is what it is until somebody else comes out with something else. That's just, and I'm, maybe anti whatever, but it doesn't matter. It's where the consumers are going. So you need to make sure that you have those profiles. They're free. Set everything up so your listings pull over there, your reviews, if that's what you want.
Exactly.
It's just another resource for you to be found in searches, pimp out the profiles, get some free leads if you want. And then the Remax.net or whichever, if you're with a different franchise, again, it drives me nuts when people have a balloon head or an old photo, or it's super pixelated, no bio, no about them, no hobbies, no areas they serve.
Here's the thing. I use the Remax Facebook group for referrals. But if I don't know the person, once I get those names, I'm going to Remax.net and I'm searching for them to see what their bio is like. Have they taken the time to put in a picture? I say this all the time. If there's too much cleavage in the picture, I'm probably going to pass on you. I just am. Not that I don't like cleavage. I think everybody likes cleavage, whatever. But I just don't know that it's professional, you know. Um, but I'm also, again, if there's no picture, which means it's just a balloon, so you're a balloon head, and you haven't taken the time to update your profile, you're not going to get my referral, because that just to me means you're not thorough.
Not only that, is like me when my brother was moving to like the Atlanta areas, I wanted to find somebody that had similar hobbies, that was
Oh
around the
yeah,
same age, and you know, that somebody, and it's really like you're making that connection. You're kind of matchmaking. I want to make sure that the agent I refer them to, you know, is they're going to jive, right?
yeah,
So it is like you're matchmaking. If you know, if you need different languages or something like that, you have to make sure it's on there. Also inside of like the Boosh website platform is where you go and add your reviews that will carry over to that public profile. Whether you're using Boosh for anything at all, make
make
sure you're at
sure.
least going to manually copy paste reviews, because that is how it's going to pull over to that public profile. And you want to make sure your MLS is integrated so that way your listings show up on your profile. There's a lot of different things that you can really pimp those profiles out. And it's just missed opportunities if you're not. I want to be able to match make and find an agent that's going to be perfect for whoever I'm looking for a referral for. So if you have hobbies and stuff like that, I can say, oh, you know, they have interests and, you know, similar interests.
Right.
You know, and he like golfing. Well, my brother loves golfing. So I thought, well, you know, it's a perfect meld, and he'll be able to show, you know, let him know like where to go golfing. He had never been there before. So really we're matchmaking. So when we are doing that search, you know, there's always that emotional touch to things. And we want to make sure that you're the right fit of an agent for the person we're looking for. So again, pimp
Exactly.
it out.
Well, you know, and it's funny, some of the best leads I ever got from Zillow was not because I was paying for it, but because my profile was complete. And then the people would find me and then say, well, I picked you because we're similarly aged. You have children the same age. You have similar interests. You know, I mean, I think that's
And
part.
that's so true, because you want to be able to have like that commonality. It's,
Hmm.
you know, just kind of, I mean, it really just makes sense. In your bio, the way you write it, it's going to kind of allow someone to kind of get to somewhat trust you, or because
Yep.
you have those common interests. You know, if
Yep.
you are passionate about a charity, make sure that's in there. You know, I mean, it's crazy. I cannot even tell you, because, you know, I do all these websites and stuff for these agents, and it blows my mind. And also, one more thing on the Zillow is I absolutely love it. If I'm going, you know, to fill all this out for someone and copy paste reviews, my favorite thing, I get this beaming, crazy, all by myself smile on my face when I see agents responding to all of these reviews. So rare. But
Right.
boy, I tell you what, I have this shit-eating grin on my face, and I automatically love that agent for taking that time to thank someone, or, you know, go into a little bit more details about something, you know, about the transaction, and thanking them for that positive, you know, review. It just takes 2 minutes. But it really, when someone is looking at those reviews, because I'm on Amazon every day. I always look at reviews, you know, and especially picking an agent or something. When
Right.
somebody responds to those, what a difference that makes when someone can see that you've taken the time to thank them, because it is so rare. But
Well, it's funny. I have to respond to somebody who gave me a review the beginning of this week. I haven't had a chance to respond yet, but I've been getting better about doing that, because it continues the relationship. It shows that you're invested. It shows that you're paying attention.
and it's so great for other consumers who are just looking at you versus others. You
Hmm.
are completely going to stand out, because it is so rare that somebody actually takes that time to reply and thank them,
Right.
um, and just kind of carry that on just a little further. And, you know, it's just those little things, I think, that goes to what we were talking about a couple weeks ago with exceeding those expectations.
Yes.
It just takes a little bit to really change that experience level. And that's one of mine.
Yes, for sure. For sure. What else?
SureRealtor.com.
Oh, here we go. Realtor.com. Yeah, realtor.com. That's another one. Make sure you are updating it, that consumers are going there. Make sure your information is there. Oh, it looks like I need to add more than just my Twitter handle on there. So I need to do that. Let me note to self. Make sure you have the cities you're serving. You've got your photo. There's a cover photo. So that's mine, which is like sunset on the water.
Yeah, they did change the layout from the last time we did this.
Mm-hmm.
Because it used to be more of Facebook where your photo and information was kind of at the bottom of that header. So it looks like the header size changed and got bigger.
Right. So, and if you're a broker, pull up your list of agent report and see who needs to update their profile and have them update it.
I love that about realtor.com as on a broker and the broker's back end. It'll actually allow you to download a spreadsheet with all of your agents' information. And it's going to basically tell you, yes, they have a photo. Yes, they have a phone number. Yes, they have a website. Yes, they have an email. They have a cover. It basically tells you who needs to do what. It's a perfect opportunity to reach out, especially when we haven't been seeing everybody all the time, like maybe we did a couple years ago. It gives you a perfect opportunity to reach out to the agent, like, hey, how can I help you? Let's work on this, or doing a workshop and, in-house hands-on something too. Make sure that.
Well, and I have to tell you, we have several agents here, and it annoys me that have like their email signature is just terrible, and they might have the old Remax logo, and I'll be like, here's the new logo, put that in your email.
I know some in their websites don't go anywhere, and I let them know, but important.
Right.
Not much I can do.
All we can do is let y'all know, but you really need to be taking care of this stuff, because here's the thing. The younger generation who are using realtors more than the older generations, actually, but they are all very internet savvy, and that's where they're looking, and that's where they're going, and they need somebody that speaks to them,
And if you don't, to me, it's like, if you don't have enough time to focus on your own business,
mm-hmm.
How are you representing me if you don't have time to worry about you? And that's your business, really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just
exactly.
That's just kind of how I feel. Are you going to let me slide? If you're, if you're letting yourself slide, how much are you going to be paying attention to my stuff? I don't know.
Right. I agree.
And then you have websites. No matter what. We have a website. We have a website through Remax. We have a website through our board. Like, you have a website. I can't tell you how many agents say, I don't have a website. I'm like, yeah, you do.
Right?
Multiple.
And if you don't think you do,
you probably do.
You probably do.
Yeah. So I would say, even if it doesn't come from your franchise to your broker, make sure you know what everything you get from your MLS board, because there are so many tools that I'm not even 100% aware of, like a ton of stuff that our agents get just for being a member of our board. So make sure you have that. Make sure it represents you. Sometimes a couple tweaks. It's nice. It has the IDX feed, whatnot. Just make sure, yes, you do have a website. If you're not, even if you don't want, online leads and all this stuff, it is so nice just to be able to have somewhere where people can go to search for properties, maybe get a lead or two from that, but just something you can put on your business card, something that represents the area.
Right.
I personally like websites to be a complete hub of information, not just for searching for properties, but finding out area information, maybe, giving them stories or videos or photos of stuff that Google doesn't know about, like, where to go see the manatees on a cold day.
Right.
You go to DeSoto Parkway, and oh my gosh, the amount of videos that we see. Why not have something like that not Google doesn't know about that?
Right.
I mean, you'd have to know what exactly to search, but it's not just selling a house, it's selling a way of life. Have your favorite coffee shops, your favorite restaurants, things to do. Think of somebody moving to the area. Where do you get your nails done? Where do you get your hair done? Like, all these little things, someone that can paint, carpent. There's just so many little things. I like to basically make a blog for every question I get. so that somebody could go to my website. Here's all the information. I've got videos, I've got blogs, I've just got a ton of information that you'll ever need to know. And I'm able to answer their question before they ask it. So that's what I like in a website.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And make sure that the domain in your email signature actually goes somewhere.
I know. Here's the thing. Do all I really want to do is sell some houses and answer some broker questions? Sure. Is this all very overwhelming to me and a lot? And I didn't go to college for marketing. It's not my thing. Yes. But this is all
you delegate.
It's all part of the business now. You can delegate, you can hire others to help you or to do it for you. But you need to do it. The times are changing, and look, we have some very successful agents in our office that are not big on social, but let me tell you, their websites are pimped out. Their information is correct in the MLS. Their realtor.com profile is correct. Their Remax profile is correct. So if social's not your thing, skip past that part. But make sure you are, up to date.
People expect you to have a website.
Yeah.
I mean, and for the most part, you get them for free. It doesn't have to be, if that's not what you want to do. But I mean, we're always telling people focus on income producing activities and delegate the rest. And that's why I do what I do to help. If you want to learn it, I'm here to show you. If you don't, I do it for you. Because it's fun for me and it's fun for others. Delegate it to somebody who thinks this stuff is fun, so you can focus on what you're doing.
Exactly.
There's still no excuse for not having it. I think people expect that, and if you don't, they might be a little leery on your entire business anyway. So.
Exactly. So, next door, that's another spot. Do you have your profile set up there? You can run ads in Nextdoor. That's not really my thing. But are you answering questions? And you don't have to be like, I'm Kerry Ramage, realtor. But are you answering questions so that they're seeing your name? Maybe they're seeing your name in Nextdoor. Then they're seeing it on Facebook in like the Suntree residence group or whatever. And now are they starting to learn who you are? And you're an agent and you have a lot of knowledge. And so when it comes time for them to buy or sell, or a family member buy or sell, is your name coming to mind because they've seen you participating on these sites?
I think if you come from a place of giving value and answering the question in that way and not come from a salesy, like expecting something in return, I just feel that goes a long way. And I think people see right through that sales pitchy, car salesman-y type of approach anymore.
Yep.
But I think just having that knowledge and helping, here's a few people I have on my vendor list. They've done great. It's almost like I like the Gary V, the jab, 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 right hook, right? So you're giving the value because you have this information, because you deal with these vendors all the time. I think just come from a place of value, and people see through the sales pitchy, car salesman-y type mentality anymore, but come from a place of value. But you do have a lot of knowledge, and be able to share that knowledge and different vendors and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even so, I got a text this morning from a friend. I've never sold her a house. Our kids went to school together, but she texted me because she has someone coming to town who wants to maybe do snowbirding. Well, I don't do that, but I shared some names with her, and but I was her thought. I'm who she thinks of when she thinks about real estate, and we've never done a real estate transaction together, but it's exactly that, jab, 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 right hook, like you said, from Gary V.
Yeah. Google business. My gosh. And now I think it's changing up a little bit. It's going over to maps, all that kind of stuff.
I just got something the other day that says it's changing.
Yeah. But it's free, or you can even do I think it's Home Snap or whatever has where you can pay for them to do it. Keeps it active. I mean, we're posting our blogs and stuff onto our account. But it's free. Just make sure when you go to type in to set this up, an address pops up, your brokerage account is probably going to pop up because of the whole the matching address.
Right.
It's going to say, is this where you work? Most people say yes. Do not say yes, because what it's going to try to do is you're going to try to take over your office's account. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But I love the analytics, the stats. I can see, I mean, this is like one quarter this year. I was just taking screenshots. I can see how many times we pulled up in a search result. I can see how many calls we got, how many times people asked for directions, how many visits I got from my website. I love all this knowledge. And this is all from a free platform.
Right.
Your Google business page. I mean, and you can track how well that works for you. I mean, that I geek out on all these reports, and I try to beat it. I'm very competitive in that nature. So I always like, what's first quarter, second quarter? I want it to be more. And how can I do that? Okay, post more, add more videos. I geek out on that kind of stuff, but definitely make sure you do that. But my number one tip is don't try to claim your broker's account and try to take that over, because I do have a love-hate relationship when that happens with Google, because trying to get my account that I've spent 10 years building, and then a new agent doesn't know better and clicks it, and then doesn't respond to my emails, like, stop it, give it back. It's not pretty, but make sure, set this up, add Google Analytics to your website. It doesn't cost a thing. Okay. That's something we talk about all the time, but I love this.
I know. Well, and you got to know how much we love this whole topic, because we've been talking for a long time now. But time for a new headshot, people. Time. That's it.
Especially if you're using a glamour shot from the 80s. Enough already. Already.
Yeah. I don't think we need to elaborate any more than that on this.
I think the slide really speaks for itself.
I think it does too.
I think we all know someone who has that glamour shot from the 80s. Like, enough already.
Right. Brandyourself.com. I love that one too. And kind of twice a year I do it. I go through and, it does this whole thing where it's like, how much do you have a lot of pictures with a red Solo cup? Do you use too many curse words? And you know me. I don't like taking pictures with alcohol in my hands. Every once in a while, a wine or a champagne at an event, but it's not a big thing for me. I don't like it. So that's super helpful with that. Or if there's too much cursing, but sometimes it's not even a curse word and it'll tell you. So,
I do like, it's going to just basically do a search kind of incognito. It's going to say, is this you? Is it positive? I love, I do love that it will even help me rewrite my bios for my profiles. And because of my Heather Holiday issue, was really adding my name inside of my profiles and almost do my profiles as a third person.
Yes.
Because that's adding my name. That's all SEO. Same thing for your website, all of that kind of stuff. And it wasn't something I would have ever thought about doing.
No,
but it was really one of the number one tips to get my name up on a search.
Correct. I redid mine recently, and that's how it was done. I need to do it again because I didn't love what I ended up with, but it only cost me like $35. So
you found somebody on Fiverr?
On Fiverr, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not a writer, and I don't even know what I do. Whatever you want. I don't know. Too many hats, and I am always cringe if somebody asks me, what's my elevator speech? I don't know. I am who I am. Whatever.
Right.
I don't know. I don't even know, because I just do my thing. But make sure it's a free, or you can do a paid version. I think I had done the paid version for like a month or so, because it allowed me, because I have so many profiles, it allowed me to have like 10 different profiles that it really would go through. And again, I only did that because I was in the Google Academy, and the competition, I had to try to get myself so people wouldn't associate me with, at Heather Swallows. It was just a big, so it was worth for me to spend whatever it was for like a month or two. But it's great. It's free. I recommend anybody going to brandyourself.com, putting your name in there, see what it's finding out for you.
Right. For sure.
And then this is just kind of like the checklist.
Yeah. Any spot. Also, I don't see it on here, and it might be a different slide or it may not, but also all of your like Women's Council of Realtors. I'm certified residential specialist. I'm luxury home specialist. I'm an ePro. All of those, make sure that's up to date with all of your contact info. And I have to tell you, like I've gotten several really good referrals from Women's Council of Realtors. And I have friends who are like the president of our local or the treasurer, and they're not getting like but because I have my profile pimped out.
I'm all about pimping out the profile, but everywhere. And it's just kind of like a checklist so that I'm a visual. So we want you to pretty much go everywhere.
This is my favorite. Stop being.
Oh, it's just always a pet peeve. Always a pet peeve. But we will have all of these slides and information on our website, mondaymorningwakeupcall.com. And we need the weekly activity.
Weekly activity is go through all of your profiles online. Make sure you have an updated headshot, bio, and website. And if it's time for an updated headshot, let's get that done in the next 30 days. Scheduled to have a headshot. It's so inexpensive these days. Use Fiverr if you want your bio updated and it's not great, and have someone write you a new bio, and make sure your website's up to date.
Okay. And the words of wisdom is be original in an automated world. I love that one.
Yeah, that's huge, right? Because you just don't want the, look, I said earlier, if you've got cleavage in your picture, and by cleavage I mean a lot of cleavage, but at the same time, if you're like this stuffy old person in a suit and a tie, and there's nothing wrong with the suit and a tie, but if that picture looks dated, it's got that old Ethan Allen is not the right thing, but who was that photographer from years ago? I can't remember it. Where, it was that like dark brown kind of background. Like if you're looking like that.
Like Olin Mills.
That's it. Olin Mills. Ethan Allen. Olin Mills.
I have a picture with the dark, whatever. Fuzzy, whatever.
Get something fun. Just go outside and the photographer can take you outside and they'll kind of blur what's behind you. So you'll get some greenery and maybe you'll get part of
the lifestyle type.
I do too.
The outside. And if you're not a suit and tie kind of person, maybe
don't put it on for the photo.
Because you want it to kind of represent you. That's your brand as well. And if you're not a suit and tie, like Brad, suit and tie kind of guy, looks great in them, that makes sense for him to have that. But if you have somebody that's working the beach and they're more in a, the Hawaiian print shirts, and then they have a suit and tie kind of photo,
right?
It's not your brand.
Right.
So think about that. I loved when I had my lifestyle photos and I was on a white Adirondack chair with the pond in the background. The ducks were doing it in all the photos. Luckily, they photoshopped them out because they wouldn't stop.
Crazy ducks.
Crazy ducks. I mean, but it kept us laughing all day.
Right.
Those ducks were just having a good old time. And it's like, she's like, I'll Photoshop them out. I'm like, okay. So now whenever I see that photo, I think of the ducks. But to me, that represented me, I was in my blue dress or whatever, but it was more of a casual type feel to it. And that represents who I was. So make sure when you are getting those professional, for me, I loved Yvette doing my stuff because she knew who I was. And she was able to basically make my photos match my personality.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I know my aunt lives close to where she
is now in Georgia.
So like, okay, because close to Helen. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna plan a visit and get Yvette I need updated photos because, gosh, I used to get. Well, we would just barter. So it's like, I'll do another photo and I'll help you with this. Yeah, I'll do another photo. Do this. So now I'm gonna have to go plan a visit and we'll do like Helen around that area. The little creeks and stuff. So that would be
exactly. Yeah, it's a beautiful part of the country, honestly.
Yeah, it's nice to go into town, but it's very touristy kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's all good. But that's our episode today. We've got a lot of great stuff coming on. Make sure to go to mondaymorningwakeupcall.com, subscribe to our podcast, all that fun stuff. And until next week, wake up, kick ass, and repeat.